My request is only this, Arnab. I remember Hafiz Saeed rejoicing when the Home Minister made a remark about saffron terror. Times now is not watched in isolation by only Indians. There are many who have evil designs on India who do watch what we debate and what we say. My request to you, Mr. Abid Rasul Khan, is let the Congress party fight the BJP on issues of development, on issues of merits. Do not drag in national interests and do not hurt the Indian sentiment of the standing.
One second. Gentlemen, allow me to please come in at this stage. Please allow me, Abid Rasul Khan. 1 minute. No, 1 minute. You can't. No. 1 minute, Mr. Abid Rasul Khan. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Given enough time to Smriti Irani.
1 minute, Mr. Tyagi. 1 minute. Have some patience. 1 minute. The question here is this. Let's decide the contours of what we are debating. Okay. What is happening in India is that the Congress party has taken a decision. Anybody can say anything, and if they have said something which goes against the party line, they have a hands-off approach. It's their personal opinion. They can have a personal opinion on terror also. They can have a personal opinion on 5 rupees.
Is that a policy?
Well, I am asking here whether it's a policy, and my question therefore is this.
Does anybody have a policy of self-destruct? I mean, if this is a policy of the Congress, that means Congress is creating a policy of self-destruction.
So 1 second.
I mean, can anybody plan cacophony?
No, 1 second.
Can anybody organize chaos?
Mr. Kumar Ketkar.
There is a design in this madness.
So either you accept,
design in this madness.
which means that Congress is...
you make a controversial statement, let there be reactions, and then silently you withdraw yourself from it.
Which goes against whom? Which it goes against Congress.
No, how do you know it?
By the time the hornet's nest is flooded.
If you make a statement which goes against the public opinion or against public perception or if
Kumar Ketkar, no, 1 second.
I am not saying that Indian
Mr. Ketkar
exists or not.
Mr.
I am not making a statement of that.
would you give me a minute tonight, please? Just a minute. And the point here is this. Can a union minister be illiterate? Can a union minister be illiterate about the facts? Because the Ministry of External Affairs says that the Indian Mujahideen is at number 95 along with the Babbar Khalsa, the Jammu and Kashmir Islamic Front, the Alpha, the Al-Badr, Jamiatul Mujahideen, and at number 25 you have the Indian Mujahideen. So when a union minister says, I don't know, or I'm talking about popular perception, he's saying I'm illiterate about the facts. Secondly, it's very dangerous. It's dangerous because that minister is violating the constitution. He is running down the entire internal security infrastructure of the country. He's contradicting the NIA, the Ministry of Home Affairs, all the crime branches which have acknowledged and found out about the existence of the Indian Mujahideen in charge sheets filed against the members of the group. So what he's doing, he's saying all the agencies are wrong.
Which means that there cannot be policy of this.
Well,
how can you have a self-destructive policy?
Subramaniam Swamy, I want you to come back on this. Mr. Kumar Ketkar believes this cannot be a policy, it's all accidental.
Well, I'm not saying accident.
It's all accidental.
I am saying cacophony, chaos and non-coordination at the Congress highest level.
Well, Congress wants to create cacophony.
Watch it. Subramaniam Swamy is responding to it.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, first of all, I think it's not a policy. Congress has become like a headless chicken. It's running in different directions, thither and hither. The fact of the matter is that Indian Mujahideen was banned by India in 2008. It was banned by the United States in 2010 on its own independent verification.
11.
It was banned by UK in 2011. It is banned by New Zealand on 2012. All of them by independent verification. Now the minister is violating his oath of office. If he has classified material which the NIA doesn't have, and he is using it to speak against government policy, that is a clear violation of oath of office, and he must be sacked by the Prime Minister immediately.
The Indian Mujahideen...
please, I would like to answer the questions raised by Mr.
I want to go back to Aslam Ghani, please. The question goes to Mr. Aslam Ghani, please, who's joining a debate from Srinagar. Mr. Aslam Ghani, do you think Union Minorities Affairs Minister Rahman Khan can speak up for any or all of Indian Muslims when he says they don't believe that the IM is a terror outfit or the IM exists? Does any Indian Muslim genuinely believe the IM does not exist? In any case, how is this a Hindu-Muslim issue? How can you put a religious color to a terror issue? Your views.
Mr. Khan has made a statement. He is holding a very responsible office, and in case he has made such a statement, it surprises me also. And I feel that the feeling all over goes otherwise. One thing is for sure that any militant group cannot be tolerated by any civilized society at any cost. But the fact is that there have been false implications.
Sir, is there,
on the basis
sir, let's not speak on the basis of ambiguities. Do you have any information? Do you have any information to say what has been alleged as false? So I don't like this element of ambiguity, where you begin by saying, "Oh, you know, we are not happy with what the minister says, but we will go on to derive the last bit of political mileage out of this incident."
Minister's statement, as I understand, is to the extent that he says he disputes that whether Indian Mujahideen exists or not. He says that it doesn't exist at all. This may be a feeling. You see, the reason is, let me be very frank about the whole issue. Reason is that there have been false implications in the militancy-related cases. Reason is for obvious that Terrorist and Disruptive Activities Act, when was in force, ultimately our Parliament in a joint session had to discuss and see that this act goes, because there has been a lot of misuse of the law. So these are the things which definitely the minorities which feel unsafe, these things work on their psyche. These things definitely
you are speaking broad generalities. I think you should either be specific or you should not just generalize. You see, I just want to understand from all the politicians. There are 3 politicians on the panel. What do you want? No, 1 second, please. You see, there have been emails that have from people who have claimed responsibility for terror attacks by people who are part of the Indian Mujahideen. You have facts at your disposal. Foreign countries have banned the Indian Mujahideen. Everywhere in the world, the Indian Mujahideen is in a terror group, is an acknowledged terror group. I think it is shameful that Indian politicians, Mr. Abid Rasul Khan, should want to politicize this issue and say we don't know about the Indian Mujahideen. I mean, can you imagine any senator, leave alone a secretary level person in the United States government, saying I don't believe the Al-Qaeda exists? Even if that, would you believe any congressman or senator in the United States saying I don't think the Al-Qaeda exists? Would you say that the Attorney General of the United States is free to say that I don't know what the Secretary of State or the US President says, I don't think the Al-Qaeda exists? And do you think the US President will then say, well, you know, it's a pre-election year, so that person has the right to have their own opinion about it? It's as ridiculous as that.
That's why you are debating it. There is a statement made which apparently seems to be a controversial statement.
No, I am asking that question to Abid Rasul Khan because I want him to accept some responsibility for what's going on in his party. Mr. Abid Rasul Khan, please tell me, this hands-off approach will have to be exposed beyond a point, won't it?
No. First of all, Arnab, the way you are interpreting me is wrong. What I said in my opening statement was that I believe the investigation agency, premier agencies of this country, when they say that some outfit is there. But then
not some outfit, the Indian Mujahideen. No, not some outfit. Not some outfit. Don't speak in generalities. Don't speak in generalities. No, I will not allow you to generalize.
There are many outfits. There are many outfits who have been banned, and there are a number of
Why are you nervous? Why are you nervous to say today that the Indian Mujahideen?
I have made it very clear. I have made it very clear in my opening statement. Now also I am making it very clear. I believe in the premier investigation of the agencies of this country and in the Home Minister's statement. When I am saying that, why are you trying to interpret it in a different way?
No, well, I think that you are giving too much leeway to your union minister and your party leadership. Your party leadership is giving absolute leeway to your union minister.
I am being very straight. I am being more straight today to you. I have been talking on the exactly to the point.
Well, please explain this to me, Mr. Abid Rasul Khan. Just one more question to you. Tomorrow, will the union ministers in your government also go ahead and say we don't think the Lashkar-e-Toiba is a terror group? We think that they are a non-profit organization, as the government of Pakistan says. You think that's also going to be fashionable? And you think tomorrow then, you are going to take this as some slogan and say that we'll make it a minority majority issue?
First of all,
the biggest problem, Mr. Abid Rasool Khan, the biggest problem with politicians is...
Let me complete
1 minute. The biggest problem with...
I got your question very clear.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm answering it.
Go ahead.
Give me a chance. You're not giving me a chance at all. Everybody gets a chance to answer and I get only
You're getting more time than the others.
The point here is, before coming to the debate, I had made it very clear that I'm not representing the Congress party. I'm representing a statutory body.
So that's
when I talked about that, I'm making it clear that whatever is the premier investigation agencies and whatever findings of the court of this country are there, I believe in that. I'm not like
so your union minister
panel who believe partly and who don't believe partly.
The union minister, your union minister does not believe in that. And unless there is action against the union minister, then you actually encouraging you are encouraging more people.
He said this is the perception among the community.
Who is he to say that?
Said this is the perception among the community. He has never said I don't believe it or I believe in it.
Smriti Irani, the Congress representative who's refusing to be identified as a Congress representative, though the fact is he may not be a Congress spokesperson, but he's a Congress leader, is hiding behind the veil of the fact that, again, this is the perception of the Muslim community.
No, absolutely not.
He's saying this is the perception of the Muslim community. Smriti Irani.
I have been with Mr. Abid Rasool Khan on other channels in debates where he happily represented the Congress party. I know today is a very uncomfortable question that is posed before him. And I want to say what is extremely... Allow me, Mr. Khan. I think what is most offensive about the statement that Rahman Khan has said, apart from the challenge with regards to oath of office that Mr. Swami is speaking about, is the fact that he feels that this will endear him to Muslims in the country.
Yes.
If he gives a clean chit to the Indian Mujahideen. That for me is offensive as an Indian.
Yeah.
The fact that the union minister thinks that he'll be highly thought of, or the Muslim community will embrace him because he gives a clean chit to a terrorist organization, is what is equally offensive about this statement, and that is something that the Congress party needs to think about.
And that is what bothers you, Simriti.
No, what do you mean? What do you mean it bothers everybody across the country, Mr. Ghoni? It doesn't bother you that there are politicians who are giving a terror...
Listen,
1 minute.
Listen.
No, it doesn't bother you that there are politicians who are giving terror a Hindu-Muslim angle? It doesn't bother you?
Don't politicize these things. Don't politicize these things.
Who's politicizing it?
It's not good for the country.
Who's politicizing it? Who's politicizing it? It is people like Rahman Khan who are politicizing it by giving it a Hindu-Muslim angle.
No.
And if you are backing him, then you too are politicizing it.
Who? I am not politicizing it at all.
Okay.
I am telling you that kindly take into consideration the integrity of the country and take into consideration
don't that's homilies.
That is what I'm trying to tell you.
Mr. Aslam Ghoni, you're preaching on the Newshour.
BJP,
now you're preaching.
The way the political parties...
No, 1 second. Mr. Ghoni, now you're preaching and those are homilies. I will ask you one thing and give me a straight answer. After that, I'll take a response from Subramaniam Swamy. Today, the union minister says, if there are real people involved, when he's talking about terror groups, please engage the Muslim community. Take the community's moderate leadership into confidence. Who will guide them? The police, IB or CBI? Or you ask the moderate leadership of every section of society, whether it's Hindu or Muslim, and give them the task of de-radicalization. Entrust these people to society, to religious groups. So by saying so, Mr. Ghoni, the union minister is giving it a completely religious color. And I find it reprehensible that you should try and be double-edged in your response to it. I don't know whether you are scared of simply going out there and saying that by trying to give the Indian Mujahideen the stamp of a group that holds any affiliation to a community, you should have said they are insulting the entire Muslim community. But it appears, Mr. Ghoni, you don't have the courage or conviction to say so.
Why?
I don't know why. You should tell me why.
To say anything on your channel, but only if I feel that everything is being dealt with fairly.
Mr. Ghoni, 1 second. Mr. Ghoni, this is...
You are not answering my word. See, I took one point. I said, don't you believe that there are false implications only because some people belong to a particular minority? Do you dispute this statement?
Well, I think by trying to say so,
Do you dispute
by
this statement?
that
If
is
you
what
dispute this
politicians
statement,
say.
I'm out of the debate.
That is what politicians say.
No,
There
not
you are.
politicians,
That is what
not
certain
politicians.
politicians say.
This is a
By
common citizen saying.
No,
This is a
that is
common citizen saying, not a politician
which
saying.
common citizen? When these
This is a common citizen. You dispute this statement. Let any person on the panel dispute this statement.
you see, that's ridiculous that
Any
you are
person
trying
on
to
the panel
give.
dispute this
You see, it is
statement.
politicians.
And that
It is.
is what plays
It is.
with the psyche of the
Subramaniam
minority.
Swami is responding to you.
Minority
Subramaniam
always
Swami's turn.
safe.
Subramaniam Swami.
I just want to know that if it is the perception of a minister of the government, will any other minister or the prime minister or the cabinet secretary either say this is false or say it is true? None of them are. No one is speaking out. Not even office bearers of the Congress party
Mr.
is saying
Subramaniam
that
Swami, you are
I
there
am
to
is
make
an
judgment while somebody else will speak
imagination.
about it.
No, he's a minister. And if a minister says, it means that he's speaking on behalf of the cabinet. There is no such thing as minister speaking on his own, giving his own opinion. He is not supposed to. It's a collective responsibility.